Guys, well, it is time for breakfast. I'm going to be trying this Ionutrition meal. This one is the tomato and kale frittata, and you can see the ingredients here. Follow the instructions. It says between 2 and 3 minutes in the microwave, so I did 2.5 minutes. Punctured a bunch of holes with the fork, and it is nice and hot. So let's break into this and give it a try, if I can. There we go. Good seal on this thing. Alright. There we go. Okay. So we have our little frittata. Get a sip of water first. It's looking pretty good. It says kale and tomato. I like kale. Not a lot of people do. I like tomatoes in my eggs, so that's cool too. Obviously, it's a preference thing. First, let me see what it smells like. Actually, smells really good. You know, it smells like real eggs, real tomatoes and ingredients here. So let's jump right in. First of all, let me look at the ingredients again. We have cage-free eggs, kale, sunflower oil, tomato, black pepper, and sea salt. Okay, so pretty straightforward here. Alright, so let's get a nice healthy bite here. Get some of that tomato too. Actually, this is a good bite. Alright, tomatoes, kale, and egg. Here we go. Wow, alright. That's actually delicious. That is really, really good. It's nice and hot. So 2.5 minutes did the job there. The eggs are very fresh tasting eggs. I mean, this tastes like I just cooked this here. Doesn't taste processed, doesn't taste old, doesn't taste like the eggs are fake or powdered eggs or anything like that. It tastes real, like I just freshly made it. Or if I maybe ordered this somewhere as like a breakfast item. So it's really good. You know, like the textures are exactly what they're supposed to be. The tomatoes, although they look cooked and dried out, they're not. They have moisture in there. So does the kale. You know, it's not like dried out and crispy or anything. It's actually pretty moist, and the eggs are really good. They're fluffy, you know, scrambled eggs. It's actually very good. But I'm throwing my seasoning on there because you got to have it, especially with eggs. So that's how I do it. Let's get a bite with some sriracha on there. Oh yeah. Of course, that's a personal preference. You might want to throw some ketchup on there or some other hot sauce, or maybe nothing. Who knows? But that's good. I really like it. It's fresh. It tastes like I just made the thing, which is what you want in a meal. So yeah, I'm going to enjoy this. This will be my breakfast. For the next 2 days, I'm going to just eat this food. Alright, so fast forward, we are now at dinner time. Okay, so I'm about to enjoy an entree. This one is the vegetable jambalaya and chicken breast. So I poked a bunch of holes through here, put it in the microwave, 2.5 minutes. See the ingredients there: chicken breast, onion, carrot, celery, green bean. Poke the hole right through there. I think that's a green bean, maybe. No, green bell. So green bell pepper. Okay, garlic, extra virgin olive oil, tomato, paprika, oregano, thyme, parsley, rosemary, basil, black pepper, and sea salt. All organic. Alright, so let's give it a try. This packaging is very hard to get into, but I guess it's a good thing. There's a good seal on here. Alright. So remember, our breakfast didn't have a protein. Well, I guess eggs is a protein, but there's no meat. You know, I want to try the meat, see how good it is, or how good it's not. So, alright, finally. So here's our meal. Okay, so you see chicken breast, like medium to small size chicken breast here. Give you an idea. I mean, this is in my hand. I can palm the thing, so not a whole lot of chicken, but it is there. Lots of vegetables, lots of celery, carrots, onion, bell peppers. All right, let's actually try the veggies first. Do a little mix here. It does smell good, and obviously it's covered in herbs and stuff. So, all right, here we go. Veggies. Yeah, it's pretty good. It has very much a chicken soup flavor to it, if that makes sense. The the herbs, the carrot, and celery together. I mean, it's just, to me, and not only that, but the juice that's in here. There's a lot of moisture, a lot of liquid. Might be coming from the chicken. Might be coming just more probably from the vegetables sweating out, especially the celery. Obviously, has a lot of water content, but it has very much a chicken soup feel. So let's actually try the chicken. All right, it should be tender enough here to cut with our fork, which it is. All right, so there's our chicken. Give that a try. Wow. That's very good. There is chicken skin on here. All right, if I can show you that. Okay, so there is some skin, and it's cooked very nicely. It's very moist. Obviously, you can see here. No, you don't need a knife to cut this. All right, let's try it together with the veggies. All right. Yeah, that's pretty good. The overall feel I'm getting here is just really, really good homemade chicken soup, minus the broth. All right, so we're up to day 2 here. I'm eating this for lunch instead of breakfast. This is the turkey and pepper hash, just sound a little bit more of a lunch or maybe brunch type item than breakfast. But here's the ingredients: turkey, sweet potatoes, spinach, red bell pepper, garlic, onion, cumin, paprika, safflower oil, black pepper, sea salt. So, smells good. Let's peel this back, see what we got. Yeah, it's smelling really good. Really hot, just popped it out of the microwave. And let's see. Here's the nutritional facts on here. 322 calories. All right. So we got here, see some sweet potatoes, turkey. So the turkey is ground turkey. You can see that there. Okay, instead of big chunks of like, turkey breast or something. So you got ground turkey and sweet potatoes, what do I say, spinach, bell peppers, all kinds of stuff. So let's get a little bit of everything in one bite, if I can. Let's see, scoop some turkey, pierce through there. Maybe I can't get everything in one bite, but I'm close to it. All right, as good as it gets. So let's give it a try. All right, well, it's pretty good. It's not bad. Try turkey by itself. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay, so the turkey by itself is delicious. It's really, really good. I don't necessarily like the combination. This is a personal preference, by the way. This has nothing to do with the meal. But I don't like the combo of the turkey with the sweet potatoes. I would have preferred maybe a regular Yukon Gold or even like a white potato with the turkey, So for me, it's not like the best matchup, but separately, it's delicious. I mean, I like sweet potatoes a lot, but not with the ground turkey. But just having the turkey by itself, I mean, phenomenal. So let's try with a little bit of hot sauce here. Got some Scotty O'Hottie's Ghost Pepper Sauce. Gonna kick it up a little bit. I'll kick it up a lot, maybe. You know me, fan of some heat. So let's give this a little bit of a mix and try it again. All right. Well, yeah, it's pretty damn good. I mean, I happen to love hot sauce, so it makes everything better. All right, I'm back. Took a little break there. Gus is staring at me, so I gave him a little dog treat. Yeah, what we're going to talk about quick is portion. The portion here is okay. What I actually like about this is that I'm kind of forced to have a normal, quote-unquote, normal size portion. I think what would happen is if I was cooking this myself, okay, you can obviously get the ingredients yourself. It doesn't have to be organic. You can go get sweet potatoes and peppers and get some ground turkey and just cook this up in a pan, a skillet. But I know that if I were to make this dish myself, I would have made probably 5 times this amount. I wouldn't go buy one potato. I'd get a bag of potatoes, I get, a pound of ground turkey and, maybe a couple peppers, whatever. So if I was cooking at home, making this dish, I would probably eat way more calories, even though it's a healthy option. I would definitely consume more of it for sure. So having the pre-portioned meal, it's a good thing for a lot of people if you are specifically doing this to try to maybe lose weight or get fit or whatever. You're forced to eat this portion. You're much more unlikely to make 2 or 3 of the meals as opposed to if you made it by yourself eating a bunch of the same meal. Does that make any sense? So for me, it's not just what I'm eating, it's definitely the portion, how much I'm eating of it. I can eat healthy, but if I eat too much all the time, it's still more calories and I'm not going to have the same result as I'm looking for. All right, guys, so skip to dinner time now. We have some balsamic Brussels sprouts and steak. So we flat iron steak, onions, Brussels sprouts, carrot, collard greens, garlic, extra virgin olive oil, balsamic vinegar, grade B maple syrup, marjoram, thyme, basil, black pepper, and sea salt. All right, I'll grab the knife here just in case because I don't know how the steak is prepared. I don't know if it's cut up or not yet. And it looks like it's not. Actually a nice healthy piece of beef there. So let's see what the microwaving did to it, because I have never had success microwaving steak before. It's pretty dried out and chewy. So that's going to be a good test here. So let's see. There's our collard greens, Brussels sprouts, balsamic and maple syrup. Well, the steak is feels pretty tender. Let's see. A little secret about myself. A lot of guys know this already from watching videos, but I like cutting my meat with a butter knife. That sounds really strange. I've talked about this before. First of all, the butter knives that I happen to have way more of an edge than most butter knives, okay? So they're semi-sharp, but anyway, I'm gonna cut right into the middle so you guys can get a good idea of the steak. Wow, that's actually pretty damn nice. That's a solid medium on this steak, even after going through the microwave. I'm really actually surprised by that. Big old collard green. All right, let's get a bite of that steak first. All right, very curious about this. Okay, flat iron steak from the microwave. Okay. Oh wow. That is that's pretty damn good. Okay, so first of all, the textures, it's really spot on. This is the same quality you would get if you went to a restaurant. I mean, it's cooked just the same. Perfect consistency. The flavor's very good. I do get a heavy Brussels sprout overtone just because it's been sitting, in this container with the Brussels sprouts. All right, so if you happen to be a big steak fan, but obviously you don't like the combination of vegetables in here, it may be a turn off to you, just because they're together in the same container. Not a huge deal for me. I happen to love both, but just something to consider there. So like, let's say you really like steak, but you hate Brussels sprouts. It might actually be something you want to stay away from because of that, because you're going to have that flavor on there. But it's actually seasoned pretty well. Doesn't need any salt or anything like that. Let's try some of these veggies. Okay, a little of everything. I'm still hot. Well, it's good. There's a lot of herbs on here. Again, at the time, I'm tasting marjoram. What else is in here? Marjoram and thyme. Just there's a little basil in there as well. I'm picking up a lot on the thyme. It's kind of dominant as far as the herbs go, and you definitely taste that. On the vegetables. The Brussels sprouts are good. The collard greens are good. I happen to be a fan of both. There's obviously some carrot in here I could see. It's good. This could use a little bit of salt, but as I said before, previous meals that they under season things, so you can always add stuff to personal tastes. The one thing though is I'm a little disappointed because I'm a big fan of balsamic vinegar. I love it on a lot of stuff. I love it as a dressing as well. And there's a real lack of balsamic flavor in here. That maple syrup, I'm picking up on the sweetness of the maple syrup, but not the flavor. Okay, so if you're weirded out by that flavor being in there, don't worry about it. It's not. It's completely absent. But there is a sweetness from it. The balsamic's supposed to bring some kind of a tartness to this, a little bit of a sour note, you know, being vinegar. Let's take another bite and see if it's any different. Yeah, I mean, picking up the herbs, definitely taste the Brussels sprouts and the vegetables themselves. But there's a real lack of that balsamic flavor, which is kind of disappointing. I really like balsamic, so I'm missing out there. Let's take another bite of steak. I mean, look at that. That is a perfect medium steak. And there's very little fat on this piece as well. Oh yeah. It's juicy, it's flavorful. And it's kind of like a Brussels sprout marinated steak, you know? It works for me. Might not be everyone's bag, but I'm definitely enjoying it. Alright guys, well this is the last meal. It is dinner time right now. I realized I didn't have another breakfast item, so I just had some toast this morning for breakfast. So here we go. This is the last one. This is the turmeric fall vegetables with salmon. There's the ingredients: salmon, onion, sweet potato, carrot, broccoli, garlic, tomato, coconut oil, turmeric, cumin, coriander, marjoram, black pepper, and sea salt. Smells pretty good. Definitely smells fishy from the salmon, but in a good way. In a fresh fish type of way. So let's see what we got here. All right, nice and hot right out of the microwave. Definitely smell that salmon. Actually, nice big hunk of salmon, which is nice. I mean, you can see from my hand, a little fistful. Kind of a fat piece as well, if you can see that there. So yeah, nice piece of fish. Let's see. I am a fan of pretty much all seafood. All right, I don't know about the turmeric though, so let's see. Let's try some veggies here. Get a random medley of stuff. Try them first. Very hot. Well, they're pretty good. Not bad, kind of mushy, a little bit overcooked. Let's try some of the broccoli here. Alright, the broccoli is actually really good. It's kind of like the same consistency as like Chinese takeout most places. It's cooked broccoli, but it's got kind of a bite to it. The carrots though are pretty mushy. Sweet potatoes are fully cooked and mushy. The thing though, I noticed especially with the broccoli, is I'm tasting the salmon flavor that's infused with the veggies. I was a little weary about the turmeric. I don't really prefer or ever use turmeric as a spice. It's lacking, so if that's something you don't like, it's not really upfront as far as the flavor goes. They're pretty much just fresh veggies. You definitely taste the herbs in them. Generally speaking, my experience with the company is they do use quite a bit of herbs on their veggies and stuff to enhance the flavor naturally. So let's try this fish here. Like I said, I do like salmon. And you can see it's nice and flaky, which is great. Okay, so it looks like it's good quality fish. All right, so here we go. Oh yeah, that's very, very good. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this the salmon here. Not so much the veggies. All right, salmon's nice and moist. It's not dried out, even though it's been microwaved. Okay, I don't know how they do it, but normally if you would microwave pre-cooked, beef or fish or chicken, they've all been juicy. So I'm pretty surprised by that. So I'm gonna take another bite here. Wow. Yeah, it's very good. It's very straightforward. Now, even though you can see this fish is heavily coated with herbs and stuff, it's really not packing a huge flavor punch. It's really just a natural salmon flavor. Okay, but it is nice and flaky and moist, which of course you'd want with this fish. So let's try that with one of these sweet potatoes together. Yeah, that's really good. It's pretty much what I expected. The only surprise here is it's not super forward on the turmeric or anything. All right, so let's talk about the whole experience here. A lot of people asked, is it expensive? Yes and no. A lot of the dinners end up being about $13. A lot of the smaller meals are like $5 or $6. It's to me, it's pretty much the same cost as if you were to go out to eat. So that being said, if you're someone who goes out and eats a lot out as opposed to cooking, this is not expensive to you. If you're someone who's used to buying food in bulk and cooking many different meals, especially if you have big families and stuff, this will be too expensive for you, or it will seem too expensive for your situation. But if you eat out a lot, it's no different than eating out, okay? It's gonna be the same price or cheaper in certain cases to get this same type of food if you were to eat it at some restaurant. So yeah, expensive to some, not expensive to others, like pretty much everything else in the world. Is it something I would personally do? No, just because of the price, but I have to say you are pretty much getting what you're paying for with this. I don't think that you're missing out all that much. I don't think they should be priced any higher though. So the price is in and around where it should be. It's just in my specific situation, I wouldn't be able to afford to consistently eat this, and as well as get it for my wife and all that kind of stuff. It would just be way more of a food cost than we already pay for. You could get all the stuff to make it at yourself. Like if you want to mimic these meals, it will be more expensive for you to do so. Okay, so if this is a specific type of diet that you want to do yourself and you really can't cook, like you have no other option, this might be a really great thing for you, but it is going to appeal to a select audience out there, not necessarily the masses. Okay, someone who's looking to eat paleo, someone who's looking to get food prepared for them, someone who doesn't want to go anywhere. Obviously it ships right to your door. So for those select few, yeah, it's a good service, and I think you're getting what you're paying for. Now, if you look at the price of these meals, if you were to make these meals yourself at home, especially with the organic ingredients and stuff, it would cost you way more money to make these. And more specifically, it would cost you way more money to make more of the quantities of these meals, okay? So if you were to buy carrots, you're not necessarily going to buy one carrot, to make this meal. You're going to buy a bunch of carrots, or you're going to buy a bag of sweet potatoes. As far as the proteins, the meat, like the beef and the fish and the chicken and stuff, you can obviously buy in smaller quantities. But as far as like the vegetables, the herbs are a big deal. If you don't have a stockpile of herbs in your house, you're going to have to buy a $6 container of thyme, a $6 container of marjoram, and so forth to mimic these meals. I find that the vast majority of people are a little bit afraid of trying new meals because it ends up costing them way too much money because they don't have a stocked pantry. If you look at a recipe and you're like, yeah, that sounds really good, and you go to buy the ingredients for the recipe, now you are buying things like spices, which are very expensive. You are buying things, like a whole bag of potatoes as opposed to just what you need, and so forth. So if you have a stocked pantry, it might be a little cheaper if you make stuff like this. But if you have a bare bones kitchen with not a whole lot in it, but ketchup and maybe some milk in the refrigerator, you're not going to be making meals like this for the same price. It's going to cost you way more. So again, it's going to appeal to a select few. For the rest of us, we'll probably just stick with what we're doing right now. You could definitely eat healthier at home. It just depends. It could be a little bit more expensive than eating junk food. The first time around when I dealt with this company and reviewing the food and trying it, I think I was really missing out on the proteins. I can eat vegetarian for a short period of time. I can't be a vegetarian. I have nothing against vegetarians. That's your way of life. That's cool, whatever. Hey, more meat for me. I'm a meat eater. For me, it's something that's very natural. I love meat as well. And if I'm not having meat in a dish, I do feel like I'm missing something. So in other words, like this medley of vegetables, it could be tasty and I can eat like a big pile of it and get full. But without like a piece of chicken, or in this case, a piece of fish or some beef or something, I just feel like there's something missing. You know what I mean? So for me, these meals are much better having these proteins in here as opposed to originally when it was full vegan. But hey, to each their own. All right, guys, I'm back for a second. I just finished the meal completely, and while I was eating it, I kind of had another thought, and I want to turn the camera back on and give a suggestion to this company, Ionutrition. I think that for the a la carte option on the website, I really feel like you should offer just those proteins, the chicken, the fish, the steak I saw on the menu, which I didn't get, but they have bison. I think you should offer these different meats and proteins by themselves. I think there'd be a lot of people who are interested in ordering part of the food program, but maybe they want to make their own sides, or maybe they don't know how to prepare these proteins properly. I know tons of people out there that can't cook fish very well. They dry it out. I know tons of guys and women out there who can't cook a steak without turning it into shoe leather. And same with chicken. You know, they tend to cook chicken until it's a piece of rubber. So I would highly, highly recommend in the a la carte function to be able to allow customers to buy just those proteins. First of all, let's say you want extra. Like this portion was very good and I do feel content and everything, but a lot of people out there may want to have had another piece of fish. Or when I did the steak meal, they might have wanted 2 steaks, you know? Or maybe, like I said, they're not interested in the side dishes so much because the side dishes have a lot to do with personal taste. You know what I mean? Not everyone's going to like a certain herb or certain spice that you're using for the vegetables. However, tons of people are going to love that chicken. Tons of people are going to love that piece of fish or that steak or so forth. So again, I really would love to see, like, okay, if you're doing a la carte, an extra steak might cost whatever it is, $4, $5 for the steak. Because if a meal is $13, I don't know, who knows, maybe it's $8 or $9 for the steak prepared, and then the veggies are a lower cost. Or just the fish, just the chicken. I would do that service. Although I know how to cook, I would be far more tempted to pay for a service where I'm buying, okay, X amount of chicken breasts that are prepared, X amount of steaks, X amount of pieces of fish. I think that would be very successful, a nice addition to what you're already offering. So just want to throw that out there. Just my thoughts as I was finishing the meal. I thought that was awesome, but I would wanted more fish. You know what I mean? Obviously these meals, there's certain calories. You're supposed to have a certain portion here. You're not supposed to have 10 pieces of fish with this. But not everyone's getting this stuff to diet. Some people are getting this stuff just because they can't cook very well and they want nice meals. So yeah, just throwing that out there for the company to consider. I'd love to see more of those proteins as extra options in the a la carte. So anyway, that's all. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and hope you have an awesome day, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care.